YouTube and Facebook. It is Kimberly. How are you guys doing today? I hope everybody is having a wonderful Monday and your week is off to a great start. I know this weekend just flew by super fast for me. It was like one day I blink and I'm off on Friday, and I blink again and it's Monday morning, and I was sad. But glad to be back here with you guys on YouTube, streaming live. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, thanks for coming. Please hit the like button and the subscribe button. And if you've been here, I appreciate you. Thanks for continuing to watch. So all over YouTube the last couple of days, it's been all this fodder about BH Cosmetics filing for bankruptcy. So it was originally, I'm not sure what the original source was, but Women's Wear's Daily, wwd.com, is the site that most people are crediting. And that is also where I went to read if it was real. One thing with the internet is somebody will say something and be like, oh my goodness, this is over. And then you have to go Google it and research and make sure that that's real, because sometimes it's not. But yeah, so they were filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy in Wilmington, Delaware on January 14th, and they're trying to sell 4.3 million of their intellectual property. Basically, it says that they have been struggling to make sales, and they have decreased in popularity. Well, they said increased competition. They said increased competition. I'm saying decrease in popularity. Let me make that clarification. And basically, their sales went from $55.8 million to $33.6 million. Now, I know that seems like it's still a lot of money to individuals, but in terms of a corporation, you are operating on a certain amount of money that you make in terms of end costs and all that stuff. So for you to lose that much income is going to really affect the bottom line. I'm sorry, y'all. It's funny. I put this my turban on because when I was going to go live, I saw it was like an egregious amount of dandruff in my hair. And I'm getting my hair done this weekend. So those of you who are team creamy crack relaxer, no, you can't wash your hair before you get a relaxer, or else it's horrible and it feels like your scalp's on fire. So I'm gonna have to just deal with being flaky McFlake Flake. But anyway, yeah, so that's a 50% drop in revenue. So definitely kind of think of it as if like your home life and budget, you lost 50% of your salary, or if you're like in the gig economy, 50% of the money that you bring in, and now you still have the same bills, same rent, like that would be really hard for you. So that's what's basically happening to BH Cosmetics. Basically the story goes that they did these celebrity launches thinking that would be the thing that would save them, but they could have done a skincare launch but went with the celebrity launches instead because they thought that would be a better look. Yeah, and I mean the article makes a key point that these celebrity collaborations are something that would have been very profitable in 2016, 2017, but since it was 2020 and 21, did not hit the same. What does this mean? It's always sad to see a company go out of business, file for bankruptcy, try to figure out something new, but also beauty is a really competitive space. I know that every industry has competitors. For Coca-Cola, there's Pepsi. For McDonald's, there's Wendy's or Burger King. Everybody has competitors, and that is just a part of the landscape in terms of staying in business. But it's just really hard in terms of beauty because there is even less, in my opinion, differentiation between the products, between the companies. It is so difficult. In terms of affordable eyeshadows, when I first started wearing makeup in, when was that, 2008, 2009, Coastal Scents and BH Cosmetics were like the really affordable palettes where you could get like a whole bunch of colors for a low price. And no, it wouldn't be as opaque or as, it wouldn't blend as easy as for, in say like a MAC shadow or something like that, but it would just look really cute and you could ultimately make a really nice look. and that was it. A lot of people were buying it. People were always talking about it. At the time, there were a lot of people on YouTube who there was not really any big influencer deals, no big money to be made. So people were just showing all kinds of makeup, whether it was high end, low end. Nobody was trying to look like, oh, look, I could afford all the high end. I don't need to buy the cheap stuff. No, people bought all the kinds of makeup and we're putting it all on and we're sharing it all on YouTube. And that was kind of early beauty community days, kind of how it started. It is very different now. In terms of the average consumer, I feel like we now have so much resources to look at videos and stuff. Years ago it was kind of harder to find people doing videos and stuff, but now there's literally, you go on TikTok and someone will do a 10-second video and be like, this is a bad palette, look how it looks, this is what it did, don't buy it. And now you have to compete in that space. Also, drugstore makeup has really stepped it up. There was a time where drugstore eyeshadow was for children. Like, it was just like, it wouldn't show up on deep dark skin tones. It was super powdery. It would leave out all over your face, and you just would not even like. They gave you a little sponge applicator in there, and it was just like, oh, this stuff is trash. But over the years, the drugstores have stepped up their eyeshadow and their makeup. So now, in terms of looking for a cheap brand where you could get a whole bunch of eyeshadows, the drugstore has options that are really great. There are brands like ELF, and I mean, I'm saying drugstore, but I'm meaning like the Targets and the Walmarts of the world. Also, um, ELF has plenty of 33 color palettes that are now available in places like Target and Ulta, and you can get them and have easy access to them. Whereas BH, it was still, you had to wait for it to come in the mail, hope that the mailman didn't do the 1-2 step on it and that your shadows weren't cracked up. Um, so that was, oh, that's still a thing with eyeshadows in the mail. I'm always hopeful, but yeah, so BH Cosmetics, I think they were just a casualty of the times, that they just made a product that, yes, it was really cool to have these really cheap, not cheap, I don't want to say cheap, have really affordable products that a lot of people can have access to and use easily. But it's just that if you don't keep up with the times, you cannot continue to make money. I think this is going to be a, like, buyers beware, be careful what you do in the future for a lot of brands. You have to constantly be reinventing yourself. Now it's BH Cosmetics. Becca didn't end up having to file for bankruptcy, but they did have to sell to, I think ultimately Smashbox bought them. There's a lot of companies that are now either consolidating or selling, or they're making less products and smaller lines. And I just feel like if you're not going to continue to be competitive, continue to be on the leading edge of what you're creating, then you're going to be a casualty of the beauty world, and you're just not going to be able to stay in business. Um, I can't even really tell you the last thing from BH Cosmetics. I know there are some collections from years ago that people want to talk about and bring up, but at this point, if it's not from last year, what are we really talking about? Like, makeup moves so fast. And now not only are companies who had already existed creating makeup, you now have these new celebrity brands that are launching. So the Rare Beauties, the Fenty Beauties. So when people are shopping for makeup, it's also not just necessarily, oh, I have to compete with the traditional MAC, Makeup Forevers, Shiseidos, those kind of brands. You also have to compete with these new brands that one seems to be launching every week. Um, and they kind of are the it girls of the moment. They're new, so if you don't reinvent yourself, if you don't do something different, um it's gonna be hard for you. Actually, it's funny, I was watching another YouTuber who had a video earlier today, who was basically talking about this collaboration that I totally missed it, between Oscar Mayer and like a skincare brand, and they came out with a bologna looking face mask. And basically it's like a regular face mask, but it just looks like the color of its bologna, and it has like all these puns about meat on the packaging, and it's sold out. And now they're talking about, like, sign up, send your email so you could be on the waiting list to get a fake bologna face mask. And it's like, it's not necessarily that you have to reinvent the wheel or do some new product that is outrageous and no other company has done it before. That's not the case. You just have to do something interesting enough at the end of the day, you have a whole community of people who are just on social media, YouTube, waiting for new stuff to come out so that way they could buy it and try it. So just make something new and different and put an interesting spin on it. I think the celebrity collections are going to be different moving forward. I think they're going to have to incorporate like movies or an album or like some kind of special experience. Like you buy the eyeshadow and you get access to like a special movie that the celebrity made. Like it's going to have to be more than just the celebrity claiming that they worked on the collection with the company and that's it. All over the world, a lot of these places are, I saw some YouTuber talking about how they saw these celebrity palettes on sale in Italy and all different places all over the world. So it's like clearly a famous person is not enough. We've seen enough influencers that came out with their own collections that were no good. So what are we really waiting for? I mean, if you think about it, not to say that they are going to file bankruptcy, but like the Patrick Star collection, I'm pretty sure if he would have launched that when he first did his MAC collections, they would have been selling like hotcakes. Now, every time I pass it in Sephora, it's fully stocked. And it's not like anybody's like even in the section or trying it. It's just kind of just sitting there. What else? JLo Beauty. I mean, there's so many skincare brands that are tried and true for like years and years and years and years. And especially with skincare, it's so familial. Like there's so many products that I use because my mom used it, because my grandmother used it. Like Pond's cream isn't going anywhere. So you got to compete. And just by saying like, oh, I'm going to bring you the glow. Also, the glow or the tan, because that's two different things. And what are people really looking for? So it's hard out here for the celebrity brands, for the existing brands. You have to constantly keep reinventing yourself. Everybody keeps making a video saying how Mac is about to fall off. And I'm like, no, not Mac. I love Mac. But they haven't really done anything new. They're doing the same mistake that BH Cosmetics did with, they have this whole Cher and Saweetie collection. And I'm like, yes, okay. If you're committed all of a sudden to now that you want to have these double celebrity collabs, which I was just like, one celebrity wasn't fine. What are we doing now? But my thing is create new things. And especially because MAC is supposed to be for makeup artists. I'm pretty sure that makeup artists I don't know if it would be healthy, but to have some like a spray that would like stop makeup that is transferable from transferring, so that way you could still wear your mask. Like companies like MAC, Makeup Forever, you guys can be Smashbox too. They haven't done anything in a while. You guys should be coming out with the new kind of technology, the new product. I remember when the liquid drop foundations first came out, and like they created that, and it was supposed to be like self-leveling and self fine-tuning and based off your skin tone and responsive to your face oil. Like, where is the technology of makeup? That is always going to be good and help your brand. Granted, I know that BH was coming in at a lower price point, so I don't know if they have the same budgets or resources to do in terms of research and development, but I don't know. ELF launched a skincare line too, and that made me very curious about the kind of BH's idea, that I guess because we're wearing less makeup, everybody's trying to pivot to skincare, but it also needs to be authentic. Like, if you're known for your lipsticks, then maybe start with a lip scrub, lip mask, and then evolve into something bigger than being like, here's a full skincare line from the brand that you never even was checking for skincare. So just my little piece. I feel bad, especially because also one thing that nobody really talks about is with these bankruptcies and stuff, there's going to be people who are laid off, restructuring of the company. Who knows what that could mean? So it's really sad for the ultimate implications of it. But in the same breath, as somebody who is much more conscious now about like spending money on makeup and saving and investing and stuff like that, I just recently, got into crypto, tried to get on that bandwagon. So it's like, we can't keep purchasing all the makeup to keep all these companies in business. Some people are going to have to fold. Some people are going to have to restructure. Some people are going to have to merge and start working together, because we also have a whole bunch of products that we already own. I can't go through everything that's already here. Like, I'm literally picking up little makeup items, trying to straighten up my desk. But I can't go through all the things that are here. All this stuff, you also are trying to be mindful of the environment. You don't want to be creating all this waste. Just a lot of things going on in the world right now that are all challenges for companies, but especially beauty companies, because now that we're thinking more of what's essential and what's not essential, very seldom is makeup going to fall into it. Skincare is only going to fall into it because people are just like, I don't want pimples, I don't want dryness, I don't want to feel uncomfortable because of what's happening with my face. And even that, for some people, it'll be like, listen, my skin could be a little dry because I'm gonna go with this product that's cheaper and doesn't necessarily work the best. So even that is an option too. So um we'll see what happens with BH Cosmetics. I will be kind of keeping my ear to see what is the next step for them. If somebody buys them, I don't know if it'll be a good. I feel like if I had just the debt is millions of dollars. So taking the commitment to take that on doesn't seem smart. But in terms of the intellectual property for 4.3 million, if I was like ELF or who's another drugstore brand? ELF, Revlon, L'Oreal, Milani, Wet and Wild, I might be looking at them like, what y'all got over there? What's for sale? We could remake that. So, especially since they have really good eyeshadows. Wet and Wild does not have those big palettes. And that would be super cool if you could spend like $15 and get like 30 shades from Wet and Wild. Because Wet and Wild has a little 6 pans. And I usually just buy, normally there's like 6 versions of the 6 pans. And I'll just buy one of each of those. And then that's like a fake palette, but they don't connect. You can't really pack them all together. So then when I ultimately use them, I only use 1 or 2 at a time. But if I could get all those shades into one big mega palette, that would be cool. So think about that, Wet and Wild. Totally unrelated. But all right, so I just want to hop in and talk about that really quick. If you have any makeup brands that you are concerned about, that you're like, oh, this is my fave and nobody else talks about it, now I don't know what's going to happen. Let me know what you think. Is somebody else going to be next? Is going to be another casualty? It seems like we get one every couple months. So I don't know. Let's see. But thank you so much for watching my video. If you like this video, please like the video and make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss out on any beauty, skincare, hair, makeup, nails videos that I make here. All right. So it was great seeing you. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time. Bye.